Hey everybody, I am Heather Andre. I'm one of the Hope Squad advisors at Parkston High School. I just wanted to pop on to tell you a little bit about what Hope Squad is and a little bit why I think Hope Squad is so awesome. So we started Hope Squad at the beginning of the year. Our superintendent brought it to our attention, and myself and Aaron Geidel, the other advisor, decided, hey, yeah, let's do this. It took a little bit to get the ball rolling. We really got it rolling in December. And now we are a fully functioning Hope Squad. It took a little bit of time for us to get our feet underneath of us, but we are doing awesome now. And I think it's made a big impact in our school. So throughout the school year, what we do is we help raise awareness through different activities or different displays that we have in the hallway. So for example, March is Connectedness Month. So we made a huge chain that connects our high school to our elementary school that has every single student's name written on it and all the staff members written on it in the school. And it's just a way to show that we're connected. And minus the snowstorms that got in our way, we were going to do a Beat the Winter Blues with a blackout in the hallways where we hung Christmas lights. And we did get to do that, just not in December when we wanted to black out the winter blues, but we did get to do it in February during Hope Week, which was a super awesome time. We've also done some fundraising with some crumble cookie, and we've done locker hangings to just kind of like raise awareness. But what Hope Squad is really about, it isn't about the things that we put in the hallway or the stuff that we hang on people's lockers or the fundraisers that we do. What Hope Squad is really about are students being there for other students. Studies show that a student is more likely to approach another student and have a conversation with him or her if they're having thoughts about self-harm or suicidal thoughts, or total suicidal thoughts, not just self-harm. And these people who are Hope Squad members are nominated by their classmates as people who they would go and talk to if they needed something, that they felt like they were nice people. They were not people who would judge them for anything that they have going on. And our Hope Squad members are trained through QPR training, question, persuade, response, to act when something happens. And that doesn't mean that they are counselors. It doesn't mean that they're responsible for what people do, because as we know, sometimes, people already have their minds made up, and that's a really sad thing when that does happen. But question, hey, how are you feeling? How are you doing? Hey, I've noticed that you are, dressing a little differently. Are you okay? Is there anything going on? Hey, I noticed that you've been really tired lately. Is everything all right at home? It's opening up that conversation, questioning. That's indirect questioning. You also have some direct questioning, like, hey, I've noticed you've been really down a lot lately. Are you thinking about hurting yourself? Or have you thought about hurting yourself? That's direct questioning. Never being afraid to use the word suicide, right? Have you ever thought about committing suicide? It sounds scary to say, and we might think, oh, yeah, we're going to make somebody think that that's a good idea, but that's not what Hope Squad does. That's not what that's not what that question does. It opens the door and says, hey, I'm not judging you. Okay, I care. And that's what Hope Squad members do, is they care. They offer something to somebody else that maybe not every student in the hallway can. And that's super important. So I could talk about what Hope Squad is for days and how awesome it is, but let me tell you a little bit about what Hope Squad means to me and why it is so special to me. So Hope Squad is special to me for two reasons. The first reason is I was that girl in high school, three reasons. I was that girl in high school who had everything wrong at home, everything wrong at home. And nobody noticed for years. Nobody noticed for 2 years. I threw myself into every activity I could so I wouldn't have to be at home. And I hid it very, very well. But if somebody asked me, Heather, are you okay? Of course I'd say, yes, yeah. But if they really said, like, is everything okay? You seem really tired lately. I'd be like, well, blah, 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 blah is going on at home. One, I was that girl. I needed Hope Squad. Not because I had attempted suicide or not because it's something that weighed heavily on my mind, but because I was somebody who was struggling and I needed someone to say that that was okay. The second reason that comes from high school is I had a friend who was hurting herself. And I didn't say anything. And I knew she was hurting herself. And I didn't say anything because I didn't know who to say something to. I was afraid that if I told the school that my friend would get in a lot of trouble and then my friend would be mad at me. And that really kind of made me a bad friend. And as a matter of fact, when my other friends found out what she was doing and that I knew, my other friends were really mad at me. And now looking back, I'm kind of mad at younger me too. My friend needed me to tell, but I didn't know who to tell. And she continued to hurt herself until she got the help she needed because our other friends had the courage to go and tell our counselor. The third reason, and probably the hardest reason for me to talk about, is um, I had a brother who lost his life to suicide. And it was one of the worst things that ever happened because I always wonder why. What was happening that it was so bad? And then more than that, why didn't I know? I knew he struggled with things. I knew that he was going through a bad breakup. I knew that he had some substance abuse issues, but he had a little boy. He had my nephew. Like, why would he ever want to leave him? He fought so hard to get custody of him. And so Hope Squad means that I know that there are awesome students out there, like the girl standing in front of you today, who are going to be there when somebody like me, like my friend, like my brother, needs them. Now, in a perfect world, these students will never, ever, ever be approached. In a perfect world, these students would never be approached, but it's not a perfect world. And we don't live in perfect, pretty bubbles. And there's lots of stuff going on all the time. And some of you have a lot of stuff going on. A lot of you have stuff going on at home that I know nothing about and that your teachers know nothing about. And you might just need someone to talk to. And Hope Squad members are great for listening, but also for getting you help when you need it. So I hope I never need to use my Hope Squad to prevent someone from committing suicide. But I'm really glad they're there because not only are they a face out there that someone can talk to, they're also out there saying that it's okay to not be okay and helping erase that mental health stigma. So we love having a Hope Squad in our school. We're young, we're still learning, we're figuring this out as we go, but it is such a rewarding experience. And I can't think of a better group to do this with than the kiddos that I have in our Hope Squad right now. Thank you guys so much for listening to their presentation. I hope that you learned something. Hope Squad is so important. I really hope that that is something that you guys can carry into your school someday too. Have fun.